Hello, this is Matt from Minim Guitars. This is just a quick video about the two Beano guitars that have been featured on my channel and are often seen lurking in the background. Just to let you know that they're both still available. The links to the listings pages are in the description below. If you are interested in either of them but happen to be unlucky enough to miss out on them, don't worry, because I have got loads and loads of Beanos left. So I'll be able to do more Beano guitars in the future. I have got more sort of cheap strats and acoustics knocking around that will get done eventually, but if you specifically want one, then feel free to contact me at minimguitars@gmail.com and I'll happily just do one at your request. Also, if you find that you would rather a sort of bias towards a particular character, I mean, these have both got just a collection of all the characters on, but if you want one that's just Dennis the Menace or mostly Bash Street Kids, or you know, like Ivy the Terrible and Roger the Dodger, you know, happy to discuss that. If you're one of the 5 people that was a big Les Pretend fan, obviously there's a page of Les Pretend on in each one, so there's probably enough there to get an acoustic guitar of just Les Pretend. Also, if you want your own guitar to be Beanoed or Beanified, whichever you want to say, then I'm happy to do that as well. Give me a shout and we can talk about what you're after. While I've got it, I'm happy to do any other work that the guitar may need if you want me to do that as well. But if it's just in working order, then you know, just the collage is going to be the quickest and cheapest option. I can just take the guitar, do the collage, give it straight back to you. Probably goes without saying really, but I strongly discourage doing this to a valuable guitar. You know, Squires and Encores, stuff like that are fine. But if you want me to do it to a 59 Les Paul Sunburst, then I probably wouldn't do that. I mean, if you insist, if you want to give me a 59 Les Paul Sunburst to get a Beano guitar back in return, I'm happy to do that exchange. Just be warned that the guitar underneath all the Beanos might not be a 59 Les Paul Sunburst. You know, cheaper guitars that you want to make a little bit more interesting. That's the kind of thing that this is for. So if your guitar fits that description, then give me a shout. As you can see, I've got loads, so I reckon I'll be able to accommodate this sort of quite far into the future. They go from about 97 to I think 2001. I had them like on reserve at the newsagent, so I've got a good few years worth here. One of them is actually the 60th birthday edition, which is notable for basically being slightly longer. Some of the more older classic characters came back to make an appearance for it, and it's got the first ever cover reproduced on the back. Oh, they've changed it. They've added Nasher in. They've kind of George Lucased it at the bottom there. Whoa, look at this. If you've got access to the internet. When was this then? 1st of August 98. So 22 years ago. So that means that the Beano is now 82. Wow. I have looked this up and it's not particularly valuable or anything, but I'm not going to cut this one up. I'm going to sort of keep that for myself as a kind of souvenir. But I have got loads left, and the rest of them are fair game. You know, they're not particularly rare or expensive or anything. Although having said that, in 50 years they might be. There's an advert there for Space Jam. You could have that if you wanted. If you want to have the advert for Space Jam on your guitar, hit me up. Tizer. Tizer. Do you ever find it weird that the kids in the Beano read the Beano? That's like 4th wall stuff. I was probably a bit older than I ought to have been when I was getting these, but it was like it was kind of like retro. Like I was like already being nostalgic because I grew up reading the annuals that my brothers had. So I grew up reading the ones from the sort of early 80s, and then I was around my friend's house and there was just a issue of the Beano on the dining room table, and I flicked through it and I thought, yeah, that'll be quite funny. So I asked my mum to put in an order at the newsagent, and then of course you have the subscription, you know, and it just takes you a while to cancel it. So the last 6 months at least, I probably wasn't even really reading them. I was eating the Wham or the Love Hearts or whatever came with it, and then just reading Dennis the Menace, and then like the pile of Beanos that I hadn't read yet got bigger and bigger and bigger. But I didn't want to throw them away because once you've amassed enough of something, it kind of becomes like a commodity. So I didn't just want to throw away sort of 3 or 4 years worth of Beanos, because I knew that I'd be able to do something with them. Well, there you go. That's about it for this video. Ended up being a bit more about my Beano collection than anything to do with guitars, but if you like these things, maybe that was interesting anyway. If so, please check out the links in the description box, and if they do happen to be gone by the time you're watching this, then feel free to email me and we can have a chat about sorting you out with another one, or perhaps in beanificating your own guitar. I probably ought to mention that this is all based on collection if you're local to Bristol or willing to drive to Bristol. But obviously if you're really up for a beanified guitar and you're happy to cover the additional postage costs, then I'm totally up for doing that. For those of you who aren't fans of the Beano, or you're possibly American and don't know what it is, then thanks for bearing with me through this video if you've made it this far. Our regular guitar-based programming will resume next time. Until then, please like and send me a comment, let me know what you thought. Thanks for those of you who have liked and commented over the recent weeks, and thanks to all the new subscribers. Cheers!